Hello, I'm Robert Wolff.
And I'm Michael Hall.
And you are joining us live at the Open Source Summit in Vancouver, Canada. Hello, once again, I'm Robert Wolff.
And I'm Michael Hall.
And welcome to Innovation Coffee. Today we're joining you live from the Open Source Summit brought to you by the Linux Foundation here in Vancouver, Canada. And if Michael and I lean to our side,
this is our view for the week.
Yeah, it's a pretty beautiful venue, and I want to apologize for the whole setup here. As you can tell, we're pretty heavily backlit. I don't have any of my lighting here on site. I think just after all of the travel and all the stuff that we've been doing, it has. I just wanted to bring a backpack with me. I mean, I hope that's okay with everyone, but I just wanted to bring a backpack, and I didn't want to have to lug a whole bunch of stuff around with me. I think that this iPad should suffice. We have a lot of cool things to talk to you about, lots of interesting stuff that has happened so far yesterday, things that we look forward to seeing today and, of course, tomorrow, because this is the second day of the event, and it is just getting started. In fact, I think at this moment, the keynotes are just kicking off.
Yeah, they're just wrapping up, so we got about 30 more minutes of keynote, and then the expo hall is going to open up.
Excellent. Yeah. So I guess the idea here is that we're going to talk to you a little bit about what happened yesterday, talk to you about the keynotes. Michael went to go see some tech talks or some tech sessions. And then, in about 28 minutes or so to my right over that way is the expo hall. And I'm hoping I'll be able to just pick this iPad up, follow Michael around while he kind of just shows us around the event. And we pick out some interesting things to show you all. So I think to start this off, Michael. Oh, and by the way, while I am not personally monitoring, actually, you know what? I'll pull it up on here, but I will be checking out the comments in the YouTube channel. And of course, if you're enjoying this, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. So we'll get that going. Michael, let's kick this off while I pull this up here and check out the comments on yesterday's keynotes.
Yeah. So Jim Zemlin, the chairman or president or something of the Linux Foundation, he kicked off the keynote session. Had some big announcements about stuff that's going on in some of the LF projects. Like he said, Meta has joined the OpenJS Foundation, which is a pretty big thing for them. Gabe, something might be interesting for you. He showed off a demo for a new open source game engine that's part of one of the LF, like LF3D or something.
Oh,
projects.
Yeah.
That looked pretty neat. So I know you're big into the games and the game engine, so that might be one for you to check out too.
Yeah, and by the way, we have Gabe behind the scenes right now managing everything. Gabe, feel free to pop in here if you want. Just bring yourself on in and spark up a conversation with us. That's totally fine. Did you want to talk more about that one? Because I wanted to talk about
Cory Doctorow was definitely the star of the keynotes yesterday.
Should I talk about him now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So there was a keynote from Cory Doctorow. Afterwards, he went to the expo hall and did a book signing for two books that they brought with him. And I just thought his keynote was amazing. Now, don't get me wrong. There probably are people out there who would view some of his the things he said as somewhat controversial. However, I tended to agree with a lot of the stuff he was saying in that, especially considering the things I enjoy on the side, which are building social media, building communities, the marketing through these different huge conglomerates. How do you get people to see the things that you want them to see? And he went through the whole kind of process and how it's changed over time when you have something to advertise and how you utilize these different entities like Facebook and or Twitter and or et cetera to get your word out there. And then how they use your data and what they give you in return. So I got his. Yeah.
He did kind of pivot that to why is it important to, be able to take your social media data and your network graph and everything with you so you can move from one to the other, because that kind of makes those big social media companies, be more thoughtful and mindful about what they're doing with your data and what they're doing with the features that you have and the algorithms that they use to show you stuff. So if they know that you can just pick up and leave, then they're more likely to, not mess with you and make you unhappy with that.
And I think the overarching thing was kind of like power to the people, right? And at least that's what I got from it, was that, and he did give a bit of a history lesson in that traditionally, or back in the day, is that you think of the pop-up wars, and this was, in somewhat his words, obviously not verbatim, but when companies or websites started throwing pop-ups all over the place, you got annoyed as a user, and as a user, you were able to download a pop-up blocker. People made these pop-up blockers, and so then companies had to adjust how they advertised to you. Pop-ups became annoying, and so we had the power to stop pop-ups. Thus, those companies had to pivot and adjust how they marketed to us in ways that were less annoying, right? But now we're in situations where you can't have a blocker on mobile because they prohibit that, or certain things are illegal for us as users to do, that would otherwise punish the companies that are putting this annoying stuff in front of us. And so it's no longer a double-edged sword. It's just a full-blown.
Although he did talk about he talked about like Federation and Mastodon and how those do give you some kind of control over where you are, which servers you pick, and you can pick up and leave if you want to.
Anyways, I thoroughly enjoyed that one. And as far as I know, there is a bunch of this stuff available in the virtual format. You can bring up that link again. And for those of you who want to go check it out. But yeah, so that was my favorite keynote. Did you have anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, so I went to a few really interesting talks yesterday. So one of them was about a new network operating system. So like think of a Cisco smart switch, and it used to be iOS back when I was getting my CCNA certification. I don't know what it is now, but like they've got their own operating system to program these smart switches and manage them. So this new one called Dent is Linux based. It gives you like a Linux command prompt instead of the weird whatever Cisco one you have. So it's a lot more familiar. But some of the neat things that they're doing is they've got these module compute bits that they can plug in. So you've got one core that's handling all of the network traffic and routing and stuff, but then you can add an additional core to do like applications on a layer 3 switch. And those cores, he said, were NXP modules. So they've got an ARM core in there to run those applications. I also went to a PyTorch talk where we heard about some of the new stuff that they're doing there. If you're not familiar with PyTorch, it's a Python machine learning library from Facebook, I believe, that uses a lot of optimized C code in the back end. And he talked about some of the stuff that they're doing to even optimize that further. So a couple new projects that they've added to that will produce more optimized like machine code, like ARM instruction set code interspersed with Python, and being able to do that in a way that will continue to work even if you're throwing data at it that it didn't expect.
So I don't know if this guy, Abar Ahad, is making fun of us for having low... I'm going to take this here. Let's see if this makes it any better. I'm going to wipe down the camera. That looks a little better.
Well, now it's all just like white outside.
Oh, no. Wait, it'll clear up.
Yeah, I think that's the problem. It's just the lighting more than the quality of the camera.
Yeah, I mean, either way, like I said, Abar, I'm sorry about the camera again. Like, we're using an iPad right now, and we will be. You know what? We have some good news actually. Gabe, bring yourself on in here real quick, Gabe.
Hey. Wasn't planning on being on camera, but
you look great. Yeah. So Gabe, why don't you tell us? We just closed on a studio, didn't we?
Yeah. Yep. Just signed the paperwork. I signed my half of the paperwork. All that's waiting is your signature when you get back. But we have an Innovation Coffee studio officially booked, or however you want to say it. We're going to have a dedicated space now, no longer in Robert's nice garage. It's going to be an actual studio with a set and look very professional. Should be.
So Robert gets his garage back, huh?
Yeah. I mean, it'll stay the same, but yeah, I will get my garage back, and it will be nice to finally have a studio with the right backdrop, giving this show the production value it deserves. Now, on that note, we also have a mobile kit, and I think I said at the very beginning here is that I wanted to bring it with me, but I needed a small break from traveling with a million things, and so it was very easy to bring my iPad. Though the next show or travel studio show that we are going to have will be at Microsoft Build, where Gabe will be bringing the kit, and he will be doing an amazing episode from Microsoft Build. And we have arm booth there, Gabe.
No, we do not.
Oh,
So
okay.
we're going to try to piggyback off of one of the partner booths for the
Okay.
Innovation Coffee episode.
Cool.
But a lot of this is going to be just very improvisational. Like we're going to make it up on the fly. Yeah, it'll be interesting though, filming and operating the kit at the same time. So
You'll do fine.
Experience.
You'll do great, Gabe. I believe in you.
But yeah, back out and let you talk more about Vancouver.
Okay, yeah. Well, let's bring it back to OSS here. So, Michael, sorry, did you want to later, Gabe? Thanks.
Do you want to talk about some of the booths and people you talked to in the expo hall, and then I've got one more talk I wanted to talk about before we go.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we're going to walk through the expo hall in just a moment. I think it'll open up. Yeah, I don't even know if we're going to be able to hold on to this for another 20
I don't know. We're going to have to try. We'll watch the seaplanes.
Yeah, we'll watch the seaplanes. You know what? Maybe actually that might not be a bad idea. We can take a walk around here and go over to the patio over there. But yeah, so the expo hall, I don't want to talk bad about it, but it seems very low energy. But there are a lot of amazing companies there showcasing stuff. There is one booth in particular that I have a lot of respect for, and it's called Mint, MIN capital T. And what they do is they try to enable or bring more visibility to the community college sphere, if you want to call it that. Traditionally, tech companies, big tech companies, they host job fairs and or participate in job fairs. And when you think about the college path, obviously four-year universities have more money than community colleges, just innately, I guess. There's more prestige behind them, and so companies are more willing to throw money at these universities. But then these community college students, with what you can consider is a very much similar education, how do you bring light to what they're doing? And so now you end up with a situation where we ended up with someone else talking right next to us. But yeah, so anyways, Mint, very I want to say commendable.
Yeah, commendable.
Very commendable effort on their part, and I really do like what they're doing. And so I offered, my insights as I serve on the Electrical Engineering Alumni Board of Directors with UCSD to kind of see if there's anything I can do for students in the community college sphere. Another great booth, obviously, one that I am very much a fan of, is the Red Hat booth, right? So like I hang out a lot with the folks from Red Hat. I love them a lot. And so we hung out a lot there. It was pretty fun. And the Amazon booth. So Amazon AWS had just an amazing setup. I love the theme that they did. It's kind of like they built like a campsite type thing. And this campsite, they had, it was like 1, 2, almost like 3 sets. So one of the sets at the campsite was like was it like a picnic bench?
Yeah, there was a picnic bench.
So there was a picnic bench that they did live streaming from and video recordings from. So this one was particularly, they were doing like code fest type things there, from what I understand. Then they had another setup, which was kind of like a fold-out chairs on
they
some
had camp chairs, like
camp
real
chairs.
Nice camp chairs that you can like rock and recline in.
Yeah, and then the third setup was just like a booth setup, so like just a traditional booth where they had their stickers and shirts and stuff and swag to give out. So this was the AWS booth, pretty cool. And then yesterday after hours, as they were starting to pull out the booth crawl beer stuff, where you give your little tickets in to get beers, Amazon had all of their beers. They brought.
They were all camp themed beers too. There's a camp beer company here.
Yeah. You didn't have to buy them either. You didn't have to give drink tickets for them. So after you spent your 2 drink tickets or whatever, you just go grab another beer from Amazon. So that was pretty cool. Any booths that you wanted to highlight?
So I really like the Red Hat booth. I have a lot of friends there at Red Hat too, so we like to just go and talk and hang out. I talked to a cloud provider here, a local cloud provider, we think about like Amazons and Azures and GCPs, but there are a number of like small regional cloud hosts all over the world that are doing the same thing, but you can get to them, a lot more locally. So I'm always happy to be reminded that it's not just the giant ones; that there are smaller companies doing the same thing out there.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, and then of course, throughout the event, I always do like to kind of call out the fact that Linux Foundation is pretty good at making sure the attendees are taken care of in terms of hydration and food. So like, throughout the event, there was always something to munch on. There's always, coffee available, waters available. And then, they had this, small kind of continental breakfast type thing. They bring out little snacks for lunch. And then as it closed down and went into the booth crawl type situation, you ended up with a bunch of little bars surfacing around the expo hall. And then they had quite the spread. There was like egg rolls. And anyways, talking about this stuff is nothing to do with tech. Just harping on the fact that Linux Foundation does do a good job in terms of taking care of their attendees and making sure that they're well taken care of.
Yeah, and the venue's great. And like aside from the view, there's restaurants all around here that are within a real easy walk to. We had dinner last night at one that's literally right next door to the convention center.
So here's a question from Carlo, his booty fly effect. What kind of applications would I need to be running on my Cisco switch, or is this more like PF Sense?
So I would imagine you could run all kinds of like monitoring applications, like deep packet inspection stuff, any kind of smart routing applications, stuff to handle video content coming through. Like there's all kinds of applications already out there for smart switches. The thing that I thought was interesting about this is that it is being built on Linux, and it's going to be more like a server environment, really, just where you've got like 24 or 48 network ports on there.
So do we want to walk around, Michael?
You want to talk about
yeah.
So my favorite talk from yesterday was about automotive grade Linux. This is a fairly recent, I think, LF project, but it's gotten really big. They've got more. Oh, is there a plane taking off?
Yeah, sorry, I just heard it. Okay, no, sorry.
The seaplane's taking off right behind us. So it's a fairly new Linux Foundation project, but it's already really big. He said they've already got more members in AGL than the CNCF has. Like they got to 100 members before CNCF did. But what they're doing is they are kind of in the same way as the network switch one I was just talking about, but they're treating cars as servers and trying to get all of the smart bits of cars running on a single computer instead of having a bunch of them spread throughout the car that are all different and compatible. So they want to have everything running on one computer, one set of cores, and they're using virtualization and containers to separate out different things. So you've got your infotainment that'll play like your radio and your maps. They've got applications that'll run your dashboard. So all of your, like, if you've got an LCD dashboard, it'll run all of that stuff. It'll run your safety features, your park assist, your lane departure, even like telemetry, monitoring different systems of the car, your speed, GPS location, and all of that stuff. So that's really cool that they're doing that. They've got a virtual environment for that now running on AWS on Graviton cores. So you can just run the software there and play with it there. They've also developed a reference hardware kit for you. He couldn't tell me how much it was, but he said it was fairly affordable. That they've got these three components that stack one on top of each other. He called it the sandwich model, but they're all you can swap them out. So like one controls the core car systems, the other controls like the infotainment stuff. And so car manufacturers, they can swap these out. As new stuff comes available, the new model year cars are coming out, they can easily just plug in something a little bit better for each one of those. So that's pretty cool.
So Mike, thank you for sharing that. We have a celebrity in the house here, Charbax. Open source coffee, what? Charbax, elaborate. But no, he's asking AGL self-driving.
He didn't talk about any self-driving on there. I don't know if that's part of the AGL mandate or not.
Yeah, Charbax, just so you know, me and him go way back. He used to show up to the Lenaro Connects back when I first started at Lenaro, like almost a decade ago or whatever. And he does lots of tech tech videos on his channel. Very good stuff. So for those of you who are seeing him in the chat there, you go check out his channel. Very, very cool tech stuff going on over there. In fact, actually, Charbax, I have a question for you. Are you still doing that stuff? Because I have not had a chance to go check out any of your new content if you've been pushing stuff through. And I know that we were talking for a second, I think, on LinkedIn, but I am curious to know how you have been. Maybe we can get you on here with us to talk a little bit about the interesting things that you've been up to, because I feel like whatever's going on in the world in terms of tech, and I think even more specifically ARM stuff, you seem to be there knowing as much as us. So it would be cool to have a chat with you at some point. But yeah, hey, so should we start maybe walking? Because maybe we give a walk around here real quick?
Yeah, we can walk around the long way.
Okay.
The expo hall should be open by then.
And Michael, I'm just going to point this at you. And you're going to have to just...
Well, you got to get your stuff, so why don't you hand that to me first?
Okay.
I'll give everybody a nice, here we go, a nice view out here. They can see the whole harbor.
So here, do this. More, settings, camera, back.
There we go.
Oh, and then...
that's probably a better camera too, isn't it?
Okay. Yeah, probably.
There, so there's the seaplanes we were talking about. They've been taking off and landing all day yesterday and this morning.
All right. Let's not forget these Rust stickers.
Oh yeah, got to get the Rust stickers for Gabe.
Gabe wanted some.
There you go.
All right. So let's go. This is how really it's going to be.
This is how it's going to be.
Why don't we remove it from there so we can do it the other way, so that you don't have that huge keyboard there. 1 second. Here, let's do this.
I got this.
Yeah, bud?
Yep. There we go.
Okay. Let's go over here. Yeah. So you know what else I noticed is during this event, it's not just Open Source Summit. There's also the security convention and some other stuff happening around this. Now, previously, I want to say like pre-COVID, they used to couple the Open Source Summit with the Embedded Linux Conference. You remember that, Michael?
Yeah.
Have you ever read any of those? So, the Embedded Linux Summit, the Embedded Linux Conference, in my opinion, actually, it's not even an opinion, it's a fact, is a lot more developer-centric. And so, here, me and Michael are kind of at the Open Source Summit. Let's go check this out. So this is just to kind of give you an idea of like kind of how amazing where this venue is, right? Like we're in the middle of this convention, and it's just a cruise ship just pulls up right here. Like that's pretty cool. But yeah, so can show a list of the sponsors over here.
Thank you. All right.
Lots of good names.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Embedded Linux Conference, that one had a lot of really good stuff around it in terms of workshops and little side things that you could sign up for. I remember in 2018, I think it was, I ended up signing up for a Open Embedded Yocto workshop where they gave you a Dragon Board 410C, and this was in the early days of me. Actually, it wasn't. It was way earlier than that. I think it was like 2016 or 17 in San Diego. But
2018 was I was at ELC in Edinburgh. I think 2018.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, so it must have been way earlier. Point is that here we are at the Open Source Summit, and don't get me wrong, while it is a great summit and there are a lot of very reputable people and companies here, it does not feel that developer centric. It doesn't feel like there's just developers roaming the halls, sitting down. You walk by people, they're not just sitting there like coding. You know, there's no real hack rooms that I've identified yet.
No, I haven't seen any either. And even a lot of the booths in the expo hall are not really geared towards developers.
They're not showing demos really. Like I think I saw one company showing a demo, Fermion.
Yeah.
Fermion was showing a demo, and it wasn't even really like that much of a demo. You just hit these buttons and feed a cat. It's not a real cat. It's a little computer cat. You just hit
Like
these buttons.
Tamagotchi?
Like it wants fish, so you tap this button as fast as you can. fact, I got the high score. And I want to go check and make sure that no one's taking that from me because I think I figured out how to hit that button the fastest. 2 hands. But so now what we're doing is we went all the way around. The expo hall lands right in the middle. What we did is we went all the way around, and we are now going towards the main entrance. So people should be coming out of the keynote, and we could actually maybe go take a look at the keynote hall. Show that.
Yeah, I'm thinking that the keynote's over, judging by the crowds out here now.
Yeah.
So Robert and I are both getting like all of our exercise in, just wandering around this convention center. It is so big.
Yeah, it is actually pretty big. Here's the bigger version of the partners or the sponsors. I'm curious actually whether or not I'm still audible. I must be, right?
Yeah.
Let's go peek into the sponsor into the keynote hall. All right. So this is the keynote hall. Take a look. Let's just go up to it. Let's go see it up close. I mean, I guess like at the very least for people who aren't here.
Yeah, there have been live streams of the keynotes and I think maybe some of the talks. So if you go to the Open Source Summit, the Linux Foundation events website for OSS North America, you can find links to those.
Oh, there you went. Here you go. This is like the keynote. I mean, I feel like they've done quite a cool backdrop here. Like it looks like kind of, what is it? The tracings on the circuit board, right? 2 large screens. This looks like a monitor in front, and the audio is decent.
All right, you want to go see if the expo hall's open?
Yeah, let's do it. And then, the seating here, I believe it's equipped to seat 2,000 people because that's how many people signed up. So it's like 2,000 people are attending live in person, and then 2,000 people are registered for virtual attendance. I got those numbers right. It's like right around there somewhere.
That's what I heard last night. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
I have no idea. Like the 2,000 people here sounds right. I have no idea how many
Is it my turn
people.
to follow you around now?
If you want to,
yeah, let's do that. All right. Yeah, Michael, what's up? All right.
All right, now you follow me. All right. Over to the expo hall, and hopefully it's open now. They keep it closed.
It looks open.
Going on. Oh, there we go. All right. We're just going to wander around, see some of the booths before we wrap things up here. So actually, first off is the AWS booth.
This is the one we were talking about.
So cool. I love this because like there are 3 different sides to this, and you can just wander around the booth. So here's their picnic table set up. They don't have the cameras out this morning that they had last night. They had like 3 cameras out and lights and everything last night. These are the camp chairs and our little folding camp table. That's awesome.
I wonder how it's like bumps every time I'm walking. People aren't gonna
I thought you were talking about the chairs. I think it's okay. Like we're just doing the pound footage, steady cam.
Yeah.
The Michael Bay explosion coming in soon. Don't worry.
Yeah.
So it's really open. Like they didn't pack in a lot of booths here, so it doesn't feel too crowded.
All right.
There's the Fermion booth.
You want to play the cat game? Actually, you should play the cat game. Let's see. Let's see if I still have the high score.
Let's see who has the highest score. Oh, it's not you anymore. Someone.
No, it's still me. I'm up there. That's me.
Oh, that's you. Okay, that was initials. Oh, someone came close though.
Yeah, who's FYM? You're gonna have to try and beat it, Michael.
CLM was dedicated to this.
I still have the high score. Sorry, I'm live streaming right now, guys.
You want me to live stream you?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, can you tell us about your demo and how I can beat Robert's high score?
I can't beat his high score, so I'm just like, you gotta be faster.
Well, you have access to the code, right? You just like tweak it.
No, I know how to cheat.
Okay, yeah, cheat for me.
So this is Slats the cat. Slat is very hungry, but he's very finicky. So the goal is to feed Slats. He's constantly changing his mind. So it's beef, chicken, fish, and veggies. So you hit the button until he changes his mind, and then you hit that button. And the goal is to feed him as many times as possible.
Okay.
Normally, if you wrote an app like this, everything would be running locally.
Yeah.
But so early on, we have an open source tool called Spin, every time you're hitting one of these buttons, it's sending the request back to our data center in Virginia, evaluating if you're correct, and updating the score.
Wow.
And we have sub 1 millisecond cold starts, right? So much faster than something like AWS Lambda, which means you can have a sort of live kind of feel with a game.
So it's running on serverless out of
Virginia.
Virginia. Okay,
Yep.
cool.
So you hit restart whenever you're
All
ready.
right, so it says beef, chicken,
Yeah,
fish, and veggies. All right, you ready,
All right,
Robert?
Michael, let's go.
All right, let's see.
Yeah, I beat my score.
All right.
You got a good clicking hand.
The hungry cat. You get like penalized if you hit the wrong one. Okay.
That's a future request. It's not yet.
Oh, you're actually getting up
Maybe
there.
close. I have no idea where my score is.
160.
Oh, not even close.
Well, it's, yeah,
159.
his first effort was 166.
Oh,
He
man.
was there
You
to
just
finish.
sold
All
me
right,
out there.
I'm
I
gonna,
didn't know
I'm
that.
going. I'm
You gonna try and beat your high score?
Yeah, I'm going
Okay.
to beat my high score.
Adorable load generating cat or something.
Yeah, that's super.
I got a teacher.
Oh, pulling up the sleeves. He's getting serious now.
Yeah, where's sister from Pager? Sure, I have to find
Oh, he uses two hands. That's how he gets a high score.
It's the two fingers, and I can't do that coordination, but usually those are the people that get the very top. Somebody at KubeCon hit over 250.
Yeah. Wow. Probably like a guitar player or piano player or something.
No idea.
Are we distracting you, Robert?
How's it going with spin? You don't think enough?
He's very serious about feeding this cat.
Boom! Damn,
What'd you get?
First time. I'm gonna do it one more time.
Meanwhile, he's got 3 cats at home that are not getting fed right now.
All right, one more time. Here we go. Okay, so it's what was it? It was beef, chicken, fish, veggies.
And so that, you keep your fingers on the button, I can hit it for you. And that's how you get
Okay,
it happen.
You get a couple extra in there. So what is Fermion written in?
So the spin itself is written in Rust, but it's WebAssembly. So you're able to write applications using our SDK in any language will compile to WebAssembly.
Okay.
We have our tool itself is written in Rust, but then we have SDKs that make it easier to use that in Python, Go, Rust, C#, JavaScript, TypeScript.
Okay, cool.
There's tons of support. Whatever languages people
Very
prefer.
early, like, spin giving feedback to
Damn it.
Oh, you did better the first time.
I'm sweating now. Okay, that's good. Amazing.
All right, thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
Thank you for joining us on Innovation Coffee. We appreciate that.
Cool. All right, let's walk around more.
All right.
Okay, here, let's get you back in there.
All right, let's go over to the coloring board because that's.
Okay, yeah, let's see how far it is. Yeah.
You can see also, like Robert said earlier, there's always coffee and stuff out here. Like they keep us well caffeinated over here. That's for sure.
Hey, Gabe, actually, can you hop in real quick? Can you confirm that you're hearing everything all right? Like, is that...
Yeah, so the audio is good. Occasionally, I think when you transfer access points, there'll be a gap in Wi-Fi where your video will freeze for like 4 seconds, and then
I think you're cutting out a little bit. I can hear that.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
so many people
so-
in here about the Wi-Fi stuff. We'll wrap it up. So I'm going to color in a square. They've got this giant like color by number board and these markers. So I need to find a number 7 square on here somewhere.
And Robert, you're covering up the microphone.
Oh, am I really? Where's the microphone?
I don't know, but you can hear your hand adjusting and blocking.
Okay, there. I found it.
Okay, you're good now.
All right, I'm going to pick a different color.
Yeah, but look, like some people didn't color the squares in properly. Like, what the heck is that?
Just kind of scribbled around.
That's not right.
Not really. They didn't commit to it. So I'm just going to do one. I'm going to commit to this one.
What's it supposed to be, Michael?
This looks like the giant Open Source Summit logo in the middle. I have no idea what the rest are. So we got 2 more days to finish this to see what it is.
Today and tomorrow.
Some people color a bunch, some people just do one.
Yeah, but I feel like what? Like, I feel like someone should go in there and fill those in properly. Like, They should be, right? Or is someone going to get pissed off if you do that?
I have no idea. It's not my board. It's not my problem. I just colored in a few squares. I did my part to contribute.
All right. So what's next, Mike? You want to go to last little bit?
Sure. Yeah. You want to go over and say hi to our friends at Red Hat?
Okay. I was texting them yesterday.
And so we're all they're hosting a dinner tomorrow night that we're all going to go to. Oh,
It's not a dinner. It's
wait, it is.
Today is Thursday.
I have traveling on Tuesday. I am completely thrown off. I have no idea what day of the week it is.
Yeah.
So here's our friends at Red Hat. We hung out with them yesterday. Looks like they're all busy talking to somebody right now.
Yeah, we won't bother them. It's fine. Just to give a.
Right, you want to turn it back around to the front camera, and we'll both just kind of sign off.
Let's go out this way.
Okay.
Let's go do it over here. Turning on the front camera settings. Boom. Oh, there we go.
So we have 2 more days here. We'll be reporting on all of the things. I'm going to go to some more talks this afternoon.
And then what? Keep going. Tell us more.
And then we fly home, and then we have to turn. I've got a list of people that I've talked to today that I need to get back in touch with, or that are supposed to get back in touch with me. So there's going to be a lot of follow-ups next week.
The last thing I want to do is drop
you have the
this
plane
thing.
coming in right here. If you want to.
I want to put this thing back on. Drop. Stable internet.
It's
Gabe,
conference internet. It's never stable.
Gabe, come here.
There you go.
Gabe, come on in real quick.
I was counting off in my head before I was just going to end the broadcast. I was like, oh, they aren't coming back on. So here you
Still
are.
unstable.
Yeah.
We pushed our luck. We made it 35 minutes in before we had problems.
We should have called it earlier, huh?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's. Let me see if it's Gabe. If it's. Hey, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, you're frozen, but I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I'm frozen.
Yeah, it's a picture of you and Mike just frozen. Oh, lost you again. All right, well, goodbye, everyone. I'm going to cancel it, and I'll let them know. All right, peace.